The Australian passport is one of the most powerful travel documents in the world, granting its holders visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to a vast number of countries. But what makes it so special? Is it infused with some magical kangaroo dust? Or does it carry the spirit of 1,000 barbecues? Let's dive into the details and uncover why people around the globe dream of holding this prestigious little blue book. Passports had a popularity contest. Australia would be that cool kid who gets invited to every party. Based on recent global passport rankings, Australia consistently finds itself in the top tier. It's like having an all-access backstage pass to the world, except instead of meeting rock stars, you get to skip visa queues. The strength of a passport is typically measured by how many countries allow its holders to enter without needing a visa in advance. The Australian passport offers access to well over 180 destinations visa-free or with visa on arrival, putting it on par with other travel powerhouses like the United States, Canada, and various European nations. This means that Australians can wake up one day and decide, you know what? I feel like having sushi in Japan, and just go. Why is the Australian passport so powerful? There are a few key reasons why the Australian passport holds such prestige. Global trust and diplomacy. Australia is like that friendly neighbor who waters your plants when you're away. It maintains strong diplomatic relationships with countries across the globe. The nation is not involved in major global conflicts, which makes other countries more willing to welcome Aussie travelers. Strong economy and stability. Countries are generally more relaxed about letting in citizens from economically stable nations. Australia's strong financial system, low crime rates, and stable government make its passport holders less likely to overstay their welcome or cause trouble abroad. Low risk of illegal immigration. Many countries impose strict visa requirements to control illegal immigration. But Australians rarely overstay visas or attempt to settle illegally in foreign lands, because let's be honest, why would you want to trade a life with sunshine, beaches, and barbecues for an underground existence elsewhere? Travel behavior. Australians have a reputation for being responsible travelers. They spend big when they travel and follow the rules. No one wants to mess up their good thing. Historical factors. Due to Australia's strong ties with the Commonwealth and its historical relationships with many European, Asian, and Pacific nations, Australian passport holders enjoy easier travel access to numerous countries. The benefits of holding an Australian passport. If you have an Australian passport, you're essentially holding a golden ticket to the world. But besides easy travel, what else does this passport offer? Visa-free access. One of the biggest perks is, of course, visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to most countries, saving time, money, and paperwork. Dual citizenship perks. Australia allows dual citizenship, meaning you don't have to give up your original nationality when you become an Aussie. This is a big deal compared to some countries that force you to renounce your first citizenship. Access to consular support. Stuck in a foreign country? Lost your passport? Need legal help? Australian embassies are known for their strong support networks, ensuring citizens have assistance almost anywhere. Ease of doing business and working abroad. An Australian passport makes it easier to work in certain countries, particularly in places like New Zealand and the UK due to special agreements. Automatic access to New Zealand. Australians can live and work in New Zealand indefinitely without a visa. It's like having a second home without the hassle of buying one. How can a foreigner obtain an Australian passport? Here's the golden question. If you weren't lucky enough to be born with an Aussie accent, how do you get your hands on this powerful document? Simple, by becoming an Australian citizen. But don't expect them to just hand it over like a free Bunnings sausage sizzle. Process requires dedication, patience, and maybe even a bit of Vegemite tolerance. The citizenship process. Your ticket to an Aussie passport. There are a few ways foreigners can become Australian citizens. Citizenship by birth. If you were born in Australia, congrats! You're already in the club. However, if your parents were temporary residents at the time of your birth, you might not automatically qualify. Citizenship by descent. If at least one of your parents was an Australian citizen at the time of your birth, you can apply for citizenship even if you were born overseas. Citizenship by conferral. This is the path most immigrants take. To qualify, you generally need to have been a permanent resident for at least 4 years, have lived in Australia for at least 12 months as a permanent resident, pass a citizenship test, show a basic level of English. Once approved, you attend a citizenship ceremony where you pledge loyalty to Australia. At this point, the only thing missing is an initiation ritual involving a kangaroo handshake. Cost and application process for an Australian passport. Once you're a citizen, it's time to apply for your passport. Here's what you need to know. Application fees. Applying for an Australian passport isn't cheap. Cost varies depending on the type of passport and age of the applicant, but an adult passport usually costs a few $100s. Processing time. The time it takes to receive your passport depends on whether you apply through standard or priority service. Standard processing can take a few weeks, while priority processing costs extra but speeds things up significantly. How to apply. Complete the passport application form online or in person. Provide identification documents. Take a compliant passport photo. Pay the application fee. Submit everything at an Australia post office or a passport office. Once approved, your passport will be delivered to you. Then, congratulations! You now hold one of the world's most powerful passports. Final thoughts. Is the Australian passport worth it? Absolutely. It's more than just a travel document. It's a symbol of freedom, opportunity, and global respect. Whether you're dreaming of sipping coffee in Italy, hiking in Canada, or island hopping in the Pacific, this little blue book makes it all so much easier. So if you're thinking about becoming an Australian citizen, go for it. It might take time, effort, and a deep appreciation for cricket, but in the end, it's worth every bit of the journey.